Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Cooking with Tammy. Today I'm going to show you how to make the most delicious steak and gravy with mushrooms. So without further ado, let's introduce these ingredients and get to cooking. First one up is our steak. It was a pretty large size steak, so I went ahead and cut it in half. We also have our finely chopped garlic along with sliced onions, portobello mushrooms, Worcestershire sauce, butter, all-purpose flour, beef stock, oil, salt, ground black pepper, and adobo. First thing we want to do is hit the steak off with a small drizzle of oil because that's what the forecast calls for. It's not a thunderstorm, it's a small drizzle, all right? We're also going to add a small pinch of salt. Be really light-handed with adding the salt. We're also going to hit it off with some freshly cracked ground black pepper along with adobo. Now, for those of you who's been rocking out with me for quite some time, you know that I love to add adobo to my steaks. It brings out the ultimate flavor. Once we're done, we're going to pat that seasoning on in. Make sure it's stuck and stuck. Flip it on over and we're going to repeat the same process. Small drizzle of oil, little salt, freshly cracked ground black pepper, and adobo. Pat it on in once again. And in the meanwhile, make sure you're heating up your pan. For this particular recipe, I'm going to be using my cast iron skillet because I love how the cast iron skillet gets the job done. When we need that pan to be hot, I mean smoking hot, call on a cast iron skillet. It's definitely not going to disappoint. However, if you have a regular pan or skillet, no problem, just heat that bad boy on up as well. And let's get the job done. Adding a small amount of oil to the pan, we're going to take our spatula, spread that oil around. Add our steaks, of course. Make sure you place it flat down into the pan. Two things that I love and appreciate about a cast iron skillet is, for one, it's virtually indestructible. And also, it definitely maintains that heat. Once that pan is hot, it takes forever for that pan to lose heat and cool on down, which is a great thing. It definitely gets the job done. Once we're done, we're going to flip our steak on over. Allow it to sear on the other side as well. After about 3 to 4 minutes, we're going to remove the steak, place it onto a plate, and set it aside. Now, if your pan looks anything like my pan, grab a paper towel and let's clean it on out. Once we're done, we're going to follow it with adding a little bit of oil along with butter. We're going to mix that one up as well. Make sure the butter is perfectly combined with the oil. And we're going to go in with our sliced onions and mushrooms. Mix those bad boys on up. Never mind what the pan is looking like right now, because guess what? Onions and mushrooms consist of a lot of water. And I can guarantee you, once our veggies start to break down, it's literally going to deglaze the bottom of this pan. And the great thing is, all of those beautiful flavors are going to be locked and tied on into our onions and mushrooms, giving us all the flavors in the world. This part right here should take about 2 to 3 minutes to break these veggies on down. Once we're done, we're going to add our finely chopped garlic. Mix that one up as well. Make sure everything is well incorporated. Let's get this process moving. So we're going to add some all-purpose flour, stir that one in as well. At this point, all we're doing is toasting the flour simply because we don't want our gravy to have a flour taste. We're not going to appreciate that flavor, right? So we want to cook the flour as much as possible to get that taste on out of here. Toss the flour around for about, I would say about 1.5 minutes to about 2 minutes, and that should be perfect. Once you're done, you're gonna follow up with adding your beef stock. Mix that on in there as well. Make sure everything is well incorporated. Once we're done, we're gonna add our Worcestershire sauce. And at this point in time, we wanna lower our flame to low medium. Our sauce is gonna start to thicken up, which is not a bad thing at all. When the sauce starts to thicken up, we're gonna add about another cup of liquid to the pan. Stir that on in as well. We're gonna re-add our steaks back to the pan along with all of its natural juices. Stir that on in. You're gonna cover it on down with a lid and allow the simmering process to take place. At that point in time, your meat should be tenderizing. You're gonna check on it periodically to make sure everything is good and the steak is nice and tender to your liking. If your steak is not as tender as you want it to be, feel free to add some more water. Even though it may seem like your gravy is liquefied, once it starts to reduce, it's gonna become thick once again. So trust me, the gravy is gonna remain rich. Just allow the sauce to reduce each time after adding water, and that's basically it. I allowed the steak to cook for a total of about 45 minutes until it was like literally tender, melt in your mouth, juicy. You could literally look at it and the steak was falling apart. That's how tender the meat was. I decided to serve our beautiful steak on up. With white rice and creamy mashed potatoes. However, feel free to serve the steak on up with risotto, pasta, or any side dish that you prefer. You could even slap it between two hoagie buns and it's gonna be absolutely delicious, all right? You have the ultimate steak hoagie. I mean, come on, can't ask for anything better. And by the way, if you haven't placed your order for your saucy sauce, yes, your girl has her seafood saucy sauce on out. And let me tell you, it is everything. You hear me? So head on over to cookingwithtammy.shop, grab your saucy sauce along with your seasonings, and let's enjoy our meals. So with all of that being said, I'm your girl Cooking with Tammy, and I will definitely catch you in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.